The scarf.
Thank you very much. This is the brightness at 1 a.m. right now.
James, thank you for joining us at 1 in the morning. You didn't have to do that.
Wait, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's 1:04. Brightness at 1 a.m. right now.
Ooh.
Oh, I can hear myself.
Joining us at 1 in the morning. You didn't have to do that.
We're live now.
Yeah.
Yes, we are live. I did that.
It's live for the whole world to hear.
So,
are we on
everyone
YouTube?
In this chat, compose your own tweet about this chat and share the YouTube link.
I will.
Do I have to compose one, or can I just retweet one?
Well, sure, famous.
At least quote it.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
Let me go to the frying pan so I can copy it.
Do I have to compose one?
That was a terrible impression.
Ethan's Seamus impression is perfect.
It is.
It just isn't.
How do you feel about the Ethan Seamus Stan Twitter page?
What?
The
The
what?
Seamus Stan Twitter page?
It's like a Ethan and Seamus.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, I know. Wait, are you talking about
The one that Seamus manages?
Oh, is that you?
Are you talking about this account?
I can't hold on.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, no, that is a Seamus Gorman original creation.
That's hilarious.
I'm saving the account for Ethan. He's never asked for it.
So
I'm just a giver like that, you see. I saved the account for him.
Nice. Good news, guys. We're moving.
Can't hear, bro.
Oh, that's good.
That is good news, Julia.
I'm so
Pasta
close.
Nightwing is not better than Tale of Two Cities.
Yes, it is.
What?
Jesus Christ, yes, it is. Oh my God.
Wait, what?
That is a really good thumbnail. I've just got to say.
Ooh, there you go.
Totally unintentional. Seamus, I love your little pet. I also love that you're wearing your Hufflepuff scarf.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna get so many clicks.
That's how we get the people.
Oh my goodness.
I maybe should have put a Gryffindor one on, shouldn't I? And then we're really getting
Your
it.
Manchester United wall looks like a Gryffindor wall.
Yeah, people have already
Yeah.
if that's
Yeah, to be fair, anyone who isn't into football would have absolutely no idea what it was, so probably would assume.
That is so funny. That's the freaking.
Can someone summarize everything about ancient Rome for me? I have a test in 12 hours.
Nero burns Rome.
I love it.
Nero.
Did either of you make Rachel a moderator for the chat?
No.
Okay.
Cool.
Rachel, I know you're watching. The answer is no.
I can do it right now, though. Hello, face.
Oh wow!
Close and personal.
That is a very
That's a whole lot of bacon.
guy.
A whole lot of bacon.
Oh, bacon, you know.
If I'm super
Up there and oh dear. Nope, gotta fix the chat. Oh dear.
Yeah, I can tell them you're trying to talk, but I can't hear you.
Can you? Well, I was asking someone to mute me real quick.
Oh, okay.
Rachel, I know you reminded me an hour ago, but I was busy an hour ago. I can only do this when I see your comments. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. That's a good piece on ancient Rome. Seamus, what do you know about ancient Rome? You're close to there.
I know they built straight roads.
Is that it?
They did roads.
Hey, where do you live in? Seamus?
Yeah, they built the straight roads.
Ancient
Pasta
Rome.
said hello. Hello, Pasta. I'm talking to people in the chat. This is great.
Who is Pasta? A pasta.
I don't know.
Pasta Nightwing.
Pasta should know everything about ancient Rome, aren't they?
Yeah, Pasta
Really?
Nightwing.
Pasta's not the one that has a test.
Oh.
Josh says hello too. And
Well,
Kay.
both Paige Covington and Rachel Long said the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
They're not wrong. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I didn't do biology very well.
I did do biology, but the biology I did was to the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah, we learned up to there. Yeah.
We didn't learn that means that it like transforms RNA into DNA or whatever it is.
I got to hit up that a little bit. I did AP Bio, so I got to experience that bits of science.
Okay, well, we have a person in the chat who has a test on ancient Rome, so tell them everything you know about mitochondria.
Fun fact, there was someone born with 3 different parents because they had DNA from a third person, so in their mitochondria. So
There we go.
there's a cool mitochondria fun
Here's a
fact.
history of ancient Rome. Romulus and Remus, raised by wolves,
Built the city in a day.
built the city in a day. Romulus kills Remus.
Yep.
Wait. The whole thing is that Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, that's to throw you off the scent of the fact that they were totally able to build it in a day.
Because they were raised by
Look, Seamus, if the world can
Here's
be made
the
in a
thing.
day, so can Rome.
Here's the thing.
Rome wasn't made in a day.
There is
It was
one
made
day
in
where
7. Have you not even read the Bible?
I mean, yeah, there was a day.
I've
when Rome was
literally got a
dry.
copy on me right now. I'm staying next to a bookshelf, by the way.
They have
Sorry?
their own church.
I know. I go to the church.
C of E. You do?
Well, I go to the Anglican church.
Yeah, it's,
Same thing.
do you really?
That's what Church of the Holy Spirit is.
Interesting.
Thank you, Rachel. This is a What's Up video shirt gifted to me by my cousin Rachel.
I bought my WhatsApp video shirt with my own money.
She texted me one day and said, "What would you like for Christmas?" And I think I sent her a link to Isaac's.
Isaac uses TeePublic
He does. You're right.
because they send me an email every single day saying, "Hey, you bought a shirt from WhatsApp videos. Do you also want to buy a shirt from 95,000 other people?"
I hope Teespring does the same to you.
I think Teespring sends people like merch with their own name on it. And
Yeah.
says,
It does. It's
Yeah.
always like, don't you want this shirt that says Pearson?
Yeah.
Really?
No.
I don't even use that name. I don't go by my slave name.
Seamus Furman, can you tell me how to podcast? Seamus, let's build you a podcast right now. What's your topic?
Films.
Film? That's boring. We do film.
Okay, breakfast food.
I'm
The
sorry.
fierce competitor rises.
Wait, hold on. What was it, Seamus?
Breakfast foods.
Breakfast foods, ancient Rome. All right. Ancient Rome, the podcast.
Ancient Rome, the podcast. Oh,
you go.
gosh. I don't know anything about Ancient Rome.
You don't. The point is, you don't need. We don't know anything about film either.
I know more about film than I know about Ancient Rome.
I think more classes on ancient Rome than film, but it's a close race.
Yeah, I haven't taken any classes on just Ancient Rome, though. I have taken 2 classes on just film.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
taken 3 or 4.
Like, I never signed up for, like, History 314, Ancient Rome, the good years.
Nero.
Yeah. Pre-Constantine Rome.
A film podcast? That's boring. Thank you, Rachel.
Okay, so Seamus, you want to start a breakfast food podcast, right?
No, I want to start a podcast just on Toy Story.
just on Toy
Just
Story.
on Toy Story, okay.
Is
What do
that
you
a thing
call
you can do?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, there are many niche market podcasts like that.
Yeah.
You
You
talk
can,
about one subject.
we have a friend who's just on the show who he does it. What's his other show called?
Cinemaholics.
No, not Cinemaholics. Will's other show.
Oh, it's not Ogre Till It's Over.
It's not Ogre Till It's Over,
Yeah.
where they watch the same movie once a month for a year and then just have a discussion on it
Yeah.
once a month. So there you go. It ain't Woody till it's Woody. No, that's not.
No.
I don't think that's the
That one in
phrase.
the trash.
That's not it.
Hey, come on in. Say hello to the people. Okay.
Okay.
My wife.
Hello to the people.
Off the Rails with Just Ethan, the new podcast. What are your Tyler-related questions, everybody?
Ask some questions and
What's your favorite monster flavor?
Oh, this? Regular, standard. I also like the Arnold Palmer and the Arnold Palmer pink lemonade.
V, if I'm not mistaken, you are right. Ethan, that's a DK original in the background, right?
It is a DK original right there.
DK painted that.
DK painted that, yeah.
I didn't know you could paint.
I didn't
Wow.
either.
Wow.
But it's fine on the back.
Well, I'm going to not text. I'm going to tweet that he's a good painter. And I'm not. I'll save it in my drafts.
You actually should tweet it with a photo of the stream and tell people to join if they want to see the painting.
Oh, well, that's a good plug.
Yeah.
DK is a good.
What is your
Thank you.
favorite book? Currently, it's Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Everybody should read it because there's a TV show coming out in like 2 months.
Oh,
Emmy Woodfine. I can't read.
What is it? Where is it coming out on? Like, is it like a streaming service? Is it like the show?
It's Amazon Prime.
Okay, I have that. Cool. I should probably finish that book then.
I've been informed that this is referred to as Diesel Monster. But if you go anywhere in Virginia and you ask for a diesel, they'll give you a Budweiser. So I'm not really sure if you're right on that one, Rach.
Did you say Arnold Palmer Reloaded?
No.
What?
I like the Arnold Palmer. And I like the Arnold Palmer 2 Reloaded.
This is the pink lemonade. That's what kind of monster I liked.
Oh, green. Green is how you make a podcast.
how's Emily?
Emily as well. She was telling me to. Well, I'm not going to tell you why, but she is well. She is.
I was just being polite.
Well, we're here to talk about creative process, so I want to do that.
So let's do it.
Yeah.
Hit the upload button.
Hit the upload button.
That's basically the whole process.
That is the
Yeah.
process. Although a big part of
You're
like,
welcome.
the international class of podcasting with Tyler and Ethan, we will tell you to like make an entire podcast,
Then throw it away.
just to completely delete
Delete it entirely. Don't leave it on your computer.
and then try again.
How do you decide the movie for the show?
Good question.
That's a great question.
That's a-
It's all sorts of ways. So
Sometimes we do.
sometimes we're
tentpole
like,
one.
yeah, sometimes we'll base it around a movie that's coming out, like we did with the Lego Movie 2, the second part.
Yeah, it's like the past 6 have all sort of been in like this weird create your own adventure progression where we did
Batman.
Batman,
And then
Lego
Lego
movies.
Lego movies, and then Lego Batman. Anyway, back in like September, Tyler was like, "We're gonna get Scott Nicewander on in January to talk about Dark Knight," and I was like, "Okay, cool.
did.
What are we gonna do next week?"
There are some times where we'll just go on Twitter and read whatever the first. Like,
That's how Interstellar got picked.
Yeah,
he
you
was
guys
just like,
should review this.
"This tweet says you guys should review Interstellar," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm not gonna argue with that one." Sometimes we do listener episodes. Originally, we decided that we were just going to do the entire MCU. And then after 12 of those movies, we really needed a break from that.
Yeah, so we took.
Yeah.
So we took a break. We did some Star Wars. We did some Back to the Future.
Mm.
We did more Marvel. And then more Star Wars.
Our big thing is we won't pick an older movie that didn't do well. Does that make sense?
No.
What do you mean?
Like, we don't really look at box office success when it comes to a film. Like, we're not going to review something that nobody has seen. There's like 100,000 niche podcasts. I don't understand how there are any listeners that are like, we review bad movies that panned at the box office that you've never heard of.
Then again, sometimes it's a judgment call because, like, we've done movies that didn't do well at the box office but have done very well in circulation.
Yeah. Yeah, and like the
Like
Lego
Princess
movie
Bride.
sequel, Princess Bride did really well. But like Lego Movie 2 panned at the box office. But
Did it?
yeah,
It made,
I
like-
didn't go see it. Maybe I'm at fault. I wanted to
It's
go
like
see it, but I
$35
didn't go
million
see it.
first weekend,
it's nothing
which is not good.
for a movie that cost $100.
It'd be a
Have you,
third-
have you done Avatar yet?
No,
No.
That did well at the box office.
we're probably gonna wait until the new ones come out.
Yeah,
if
well,
ever.
If ever.
If they ever
Pre-
come out,
It's supposed to come out in 2020, so
Call up your boy Jim Cameron and be like, "Hey, Jim, it's been 10 years. What are you doing? Why did you make Alita Battle Angel?
He produced Alita Battle Angel. It had like nothing to do with it.
Whatever. His name is on it."
Yeah. In the same way, like
Julia's
John.
gone.
Oh, bye, Julia. She's probably on the side. She'll be back.
What did V say? Get Ben on board. Hey, can you guys stop making ideas for new podcasts in the stream?
I like the new
Oh,
idea.
was that the Seamus and Ben Across the Pond podcast?
Across the pod.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I
I'm
love
sure
that.
Alita Battle Angel was very good, Rachel. I'm not denying that. A lot of people have loved it, but like, they've been promising a new Avatar movie for 10 years.
And they
Yeah, it was
filmed
meant to
them.
come out in
They filmed all
2017.
4 of them, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, because that's the thing, that they're doing it like the Lord of the Rings did, is that they're recording all of them all at once.
Mhm.
So they've got like 4 on the docket, and they're going to release year after year after 2020. So they're going to start
Oh,
releasing in 2020 and go from there.
Why 20? Why not the 10-year anniversary? Why not 2019?
'cause it's not
I don't think
done
they're
yet,
done
Ethan.
yet. Yeah.
How has it been 10 years and you're not done? That's what I'm asking those. How has it been 10 years and you're not done yet?
I don't think
Because
they
it's a
started
creative
right away.
process.
Creative.
Yeah. The whole point of the this whole discussion, not the podcast, this is a video stream. It's the creative juices flowing through James.
Yeah.
Is that a PewDiePie?
You can't rush art. You know who said
Yeah.
that? Edna
Who
Mode.
news?
You can't rush art, but like 10 years is not rushing anything. I know it's
10
like,
years to make 4 films. That's quite a long time, a short amount of time to make 4 films.
So somebody said we need more Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes,
your
I've
cousin.
never seen it.
I know it
said
is.
that.
I know it is, and I know she's just joshing. Although she was a big fan of the show, not as big a fan of the show as she was of Teen Titans, the show, the original Teen Titans. But
Did anybody see Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie?
I did. I saw,
Oh, best
I did.
movie I've ever seen in my life.
saw it in theaters.
Best movie you've ever seen, Seamus?
Yeah,
Best,
Toy Story.
best ever. Okay. Seamus, you
I've
just
never
started a
actually
film
seen
podcast
it.
where you only review M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender.
why didn't I just make a film podcast? I just state completely terrible opinions for the entire podcast and just see how it goes.
You have
down.
a hard time filling 2 hours with terrible.
Oh,
Although
you underestimate me.
What? Oh, we have terrible opinions every week? No, we don't. This chat is fascinating.
Can't rush. All right. Toy Story 2. Last
That's a good
Airbender
film.
makes me cry. It's so bad. It shouldn't exist. I mean, I think obviously when you watch that movie, there was like a rewrite that happened somewhere, or Ghost Rider wasn't doing the right thing, or the special effects didn't come. There's just no way that anybody working on that project, when it finished, was like, yeah, this is exactly what we said.
That's like 50% of M. Night Shyamalan's movies, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know what his deal is. Is he just going home at the end of the day after The Happening comes out and being like, yeah, man, really knocked that one out of the park.
Let's mail it in
Cracks
from here.
open a scotch, just like, we got it, dude. The movie was fantastic. Can't wait to see all the critics loving it. And then the critics are like, wait a minute, nothing happens in this movie. Why is everybody scared of trees? Why are the trees making people kill themselves?
Wait, what? My God.
Not even the Aragon.
Oh, yeah.
Aragon movie
That
was
was pretty
bad.
painful.
I had the Aragon movie, the video game for the Nintendo.
Oh,
DS.
man. That came out right at the height of Aragon, too. Like, when everybody had just finished reading the books, they were like, here's a movie.
Yeah.
I was young enough when that came out that I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like,
I think I was too, and I was in middle school.
I did not like it, but I also hadn't read the book when it came out. Well, I'd started the book, but I hadn't finished the book because I wasn't super interested in the book. And then I read the book, and I'm like, this movie didn't follow the book. And then I rewatched it later, and I was like, no, this was just a bad movie.
Can I ask you a question? Are the Aragon books good?
Yeah.
Do they hold up?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't reread them in a really long time because he took forever to finish, like to write the next book, and then I'd have to go back and reread them.
Yeah, you can't rush art.
We can't rush it off. George R. R. Martin can tell you
Okay.
that.
But
No, Christopher Paolini did take a really long time to put that last book out. It was like, it went from like early middle school to when I was in college.
yeah, like it was
I
a
don't know what that
long.
means.
Yeah.
What age to what age? I don't know what that means.
It's
Like-
like
Like 12 to 20.
Yeah, like 12 to
Oh, Yeah, that is a long time. That's like 8 years.
Very good. They teach maths over there.
No. they teach math.
Although, I mean, we've been waiting on a new Game of Thrones book for longer than that.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones is taking forever. He started in 1996 and he's made like 5 books.
really. So I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know Game of Thrones existed until my friend made me watch an episode, which was The Red Wedding, and that was the first episode I watched.
No, that'll kind of ruin the show for you.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
great.
amazing. It's a great way to start, really.
There's lots of
Is it though? Because you don't really get attached to any of the characters, so you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of
that's
the
true.
fun of the show. It's like I never know what's gonna happen, and I love all these random characters,
For
and
sure.
they just aren't around anymore.
I mean, everybody that died at the Red Wedding deserved it.
No, they didn't. Don't even
Oh
come
my god.
for.
Super
I've literally just been watching it. I've just finished the one where Hodor happens.
Oh,
I won't say
wow.
anything. So yeah, don't even come for it. But Tyler hasn't. You haven't watched Game of Thrones, have you?
No.
No.
So this is the
I
new-
remember
podcast we're gonna create from this. Is Tyler? I mean, Ethan and Seamus argue back and forth about Game of Thrones for an hour
I love it.
every week leading up until the new season.
Can I be there
Well,
without watching the show?
Sure.
No, wasn't there in the Aquaman podcast or something? I can't remember which one it was, but you made a statement about like Jason Momoa saying like how you thought alongside being like the best action, he wanted to be like the best comedian in the world as well. And then Ethan was like, "What about The Rock or something?" I can't really remember the direct quote. And you were like basing it off maybe he was like that in Game of Thrones, and it was like the least accurate statement based on Khal Drogo I've ever heard in my life. And I laughed to myself about it. But I don't know if I'm referencing something that actually happened. Or
It
just
did have. I remember this
It
conversation.
definitely happened.
It was not in the Aquaman episode because neither of us have seen Aquaman.
Okay. I thought I haven't seen the Aquaman episode, so
The Aquaman. Sorry.
Wait, there's not an Aquaman episode?
No.
No, they haven't
I
seen it.
was like, did I miss an episode somewhere? I did just re-listen to one yesterday. I don't remember which one, but I was like cry laughing while driving.
Which one? You got to find out. This is important. This is
It was
feedback.
the
that we
one.
need.
It was the one where you're talking about Wendy's and like road rage.
National Treasure.
National Treasure. Yeah.
That's
National Treasure.
been my favorite of year 2.
National
just-
Treasure, yeah.
That I just laugh because I am I probably have equal amounts of road rage as you do.
I don't know about that.
I remember even one time laying on the horn for like, not kidding, 5 minutes.
That was not. There's
No,
never.
We've been in the car with Julia. She's got some road rage.
There's never.
Let me explain one thing that happened last year at the Spartan race. We were in the car. I'm not driving. This is important to the story. I am not driving in the passenger seat. There's this car, clearly one lane, tries to come in and cut in front of us. I start yelling and like gesturing at them. Realize that it's Ben.
Oh no, that's such a Ben move though.
Ben can't drive.
Ben can drive very well.
Ben can drive and
Ben
text
can
at the
drive.
same time though.
But then I saw it was him, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we'll let you through. That's fine. But I wasn't driving.
Okay, so earlier somebody asked if we ever have trouble connecting with guests.
Yeah. Revenge of the Sith.
Oh,
Yeah, that guy.
that guy.
Flashback.
No, our biggest problem with guests, I mean, there's times. Sometimes the chemistry is just not there. That happens. I'll tell you the biggest thing. I appeared on another podcast one time where there was just absolutely no chemistry, but I don't think the person had any like electrons to create chemistry. There was no conversation that happened. I tried really hard with that one though, but yeah, sometimes it just doesn't happen. But sometimes we'll finish an episode and be like, "Oh crap, man, we had nothing to say with that person," and then it'll get great
And
feedback.
then people are like, "Oh my god, this is so funny," and I'm like, "Okay."
"Oh,
And,
perfect."
and there have definitely been episodes where like I will even episodes we just do together, like the two of us. There'll be episodes where I'm listening back, editing, and like cry laughing at what we say editing, and then nobody says a word about it.
Yeah.
And there'll be some episodes where I'm like, that was a flop. And people are like, "Oh my god, that thing you said about the gas pump, I've never laughed harder in my life."
Pump don't work.
Pump don't work. And so it's just, and that's the principle of it is you gotta, there's always a certain degree of throwing it at the wall and seeing what sticks, especially when you make an hour and a half of content per week, like audio only content. You're gonna have some dud jokes. Like it's just gonna happen.
You're gonna miss it.
You gotta miss the mark sometimes. And then you're just gonna hit it in places you don't even understand, and people are laughing at jokes you forgot you made because we recorded an episode earlier today, and I couldn't even tell you what it was on or what we talked about.
It's on Lego Batman.
I mean, I know that. I was exaggerating.
Spoiler alert: we don't talk that much about Lego Batman.
Yeah, we do.
I'm
Oh
sure.
wow, what kind of podcast is this?
We talk more about.
We actually probably gave it more conversation than we did like Toy Story 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got some feedback on that one.
What was the feedback? How do you even see the feedback on your podcast?
People, Facebook group. People email us.
Oh, I see. That makes
It
sense.
only happened a couple times.
I sometimes disagree with people's feedback. But I see
you tell them next time when they give us negative feedback. You just hop in there and say,
I remember
Tyler and Ethan are saints.
one time, and this
I disagree with people's feedback on my videos too. So
it was like the first time we ever got put on blast in the Facebook group, and this person's actually ended up just being a huge part of the community and ended up being in Discord. He had very valuable things to say. We had one person that messaged me and was like, "Let me at him. I'll get him. I'm not standing for this." Cool. They're listening.
They're listening.
We're listening to them. They're interact. It's
and they
okay.
made a good point.
Wait, I missed what he
Has
said.
there been a time where a fan gives feedback and then you immediately make a pivot with how you make your videos? Do you have examples of that?
I'm sure
I can relate to that.
It has definitely happened, but I can't I couldn't name things off the top of my head.
We'll think about that one, Isaac. There are a few questions over here.
There have definitely been times where that's happened, though, Isaac, for sure.
Yeah.
What are the benefits of podcasting versus blogging, or one or another media, or some other media? Why did you pick it over, say, a YouTube channel that comes from moderator Rachel Dickhausen? We picked podcasting because we're good at it. Yeah. Here's the thing. So when we started podcasting, we knew that we could borrow some audience from Super Carlin Brothers. And we knew that if we started making like theory videos, they would be garbage, like literal garbage. So we picked podcasting because we had some experience with the radio show, and it was a more long form, more improv focused.
Right. A lot more.
It played more to our strengths.
Yeah. Less scripting, more natural conversation. And it took us a long time to get it right.
Yeah. And people don't want to watch theory videos from Fat Jonathan. So.
and Fat Jonathan's fat friend.
Who's Fat Jonathan?
Hold on.
Oh my god, that kills.
Hold on. No. We are not allowed to talk bad about people in this community, and that means that you cannot talk bad about you either.
Okay.
We're not talking bad about it.
Apologize to yourself.
I'm sorry. But that was why we did that. How much time does editing take you guys? Starting out, when I was editing the show, the first episodes took 4 minutes per minute. And then as you got more proficient, it got down to about 2 minutes per minute. And then by the time I was done editing, I was at about 90 seconds per minute of audio. Ethan does like 1-to-1.
Yeah, it's pretty much 1-to-1. It just depends on the episode, honestly. There are some times where we'll have a guest and I'm constantly having to go in and like edit sound, like background noise out. Like a lot of times we'll get an audio stream from somebody and like while they're not talking, their air conditioning in the background is just sitting there like.
That's a big Seamus. That's a big thing with podcasting is if you're going to do a podcast with guests, listeners are generally very forgiving with guest audio.
But Ethan is not very forgiving with the audio he puts out in his product. So like and I have a certain threshold where like if it's going to take me too much time, I won't worry about it. But if it's something I can do, just like silence a big chunk of audio where they're not talking, then, and I've had to do this myself before. I had an air conditioning unit in my last apartment that would cause me some trouble sometimes. And then sometimes you get a random audio stream from your buddy in England, and it's just really, really, really quiet.
Okay.
It's not a problem.
I record my audio quietly because I shout a lot. and I don't like it when my audio peaks.
I'm with you, Jamie. Don't let Ethan shame you.
I'm not. I'm
Don't
just
let
saying,
Ethan
like,
shame us.
it's definitely a thing that, like, and he's right though, because he does record his audio very quietly, but there will be like 3 or 4 random peaks in there, like that stop the software from automatically being able to just bump the whole thing up.
Yeah, that's the problem with me.
So, yeah, and when you're making a 10-minute video, it's less noticeable, but over 2 hours, it's like I have moved a lot of the volume up on this, and so that's sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. When it's just the 2 of us, it's pretty straightforward. When you throw a guest in there, it always adds time on.
No, I edit every single audio clip on my video, like everything.
Oh yeah, I would too. But
like, I mean, like every single clip in like every jump cut will have an edited bit of audio.
If we made a 10-minute a week podcast, then yeah, it would be perfect.
There would be no audio
absolutely
errors.
Perfect.
Especially if it was scripted, we'd just
but
record it again.
But three people over 2 hours. I just don't have that. It's like at that point, nobody's going to notice because nobody's going to pat me on the back for like, wow, the audio sounded really great today.
I will. I'll do it now. Got you.
Yeah. I'm going to do that on your next podcast.
That's the whole like 80-20 rule. That as long as 80% of it sounds good, 20% of it can sound okay-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard that rule.
Well, like I've noticed, because I'm that weird person that re-listens to stuff.
Dude, I re-listen to the show. This is like the best late feedback ever. That like, that's 2 months ago, hilarious.
And the thing is, like, if we were a slightly more professional show that like kept all of our files, I could go back and like redo the original episodes so they sound better, like remaster them. But I'm not going to.
No.
But like you can kind of see the growth, because like I went back and listened to. I had a really long car drive the other day. This is why I was listening, but I don't remember what episode. But it was one of the early Marvel. It was Captain America, and I could tell a difference from that to what you guys are producing now. And so like that growth is amazing.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
We do have a question from V. Says, are you ever concerned that the internet has become so saturated with entertaining content that eventually there will be a huge pullback where vlogs, videos, and podcasts become viewed way less? No, I'm not concerned about that at all. I do think that if you make, I think that the pressure to make higher quality content is always there, but that's a good pressure.
Yeah. Also, you just like, that will just suck all the creativity out of your soul. It'll suck all of the desire out of your soul if you think about it in terms like that.
Plus, I would say for every podcaster,
there's 500 YouTubers. Maybe more than that.
No. I would say this. I would say before I was podcasting, I listened to like 3 shows. As a podcaster, I listened to like 15.
Yeah.
So more podcasters means more potential listeners.
Wow.
But also, for every person making a podcast and like actually focusing time on a podcast, there are probably 500 to 1,000 YouTubers.
Like, we learned this at PodCon 2. Only $300 million went into podcast advertising in 2018, which sounds like a lot.
It's not.
But that's like no money in advertising. So the industry is still rapidly growing.
Literally, yeah. Everything we heard from advertisers at PodCon were just like, this is the time to be in it, guys.
Yeah,
like,
get in now.
Yeah, get in now. Establish your show now, and just we promise it's going to work.
Yeah.
So
okay, Isaac, is that clear? Cross the pod.
Yeah.
Across the pod, let's go.
Well, that's the.
Do you want to know the average CPM for a podcast?
No, I don't know what the average CPM for a podcast is.
No.
It's gonna break your brain because you do YouTube.
It's really high, isn't it?
What's the average CPM for YouTube?
2. I know what average is. I know what mine is.
It depends on the YouTuber and like what their content is. So like,
yeah,
you say less than $5.
I would say
$2,
$3. I don't know.
Yeah, $2 is the standard for average on YouTube, but $5
it is 16 for a podcast. 18 for a podcast.
18 for a podcast.
Yeah,
so, like,
that was close. My guess was close.
On YouTube though, like when I was making money and still doing a beauty channel, which I stopped doing because I hated it, my average was like $23.
Mm-hmm. Dang.
But like
$23 per 1,000 views.
Yeah.
That's
But like
insane.
I didn't have enough views to like make enough money, but I could see my CPM and it would range, but like on the top end it would be 40 and on the bottom end it would be 7.
So we have a question that says, what is CPM?
CPM stands for cost per milli, which just means 1,000. It's the going rate for what you can charge per 1,000 views.
That's
Yeah.
what I've heard a lot about podcasts is that advertisers are looking towards going more towards podcasters because people stay on for so long and there's so many opportunities to talk about like advertisements and have adverts. So
Podcasting is so insanely intimate.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I'm in your ears for 2 hours, that's a long time.
Right. People
Yeah.
are more likely to buy stuff.
I also feel like it's easier just to like segue into talking about something. Like a video has to abruptly stop what they're talking about to mention it.
Right.
Not if it's done right.
Or it's an ad.
Right. Like people are much more likely to go sign up for Squarespace if they hear about it on from the mouths of their favorite podcasters talking about, hey, we use Squarespace for our show, for our website. We really think you guys can benefit from it. Go,
Oh yeah,
sign up for Squarespace. They're much more likely to buy from that than they are to click on a banner ad that says Squarespace.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And the other thing about it too is that like when you do an advert in a podcast, it's such a small percentage of what they're actually taking time to do. So talking about an ad for 30 seconds in the span of 2 hours that they've put aside to listen to you, they're willing to like digest it less than in like a 10-minute video.
Well,
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually, because I would skip an advert in a 10-minute video. Like if someone put an advert at the end of a 10-minute video, I wouldn't watch the advert. I'd just click off the minute they start doing a brand deal.
Well, so like I listened to a CrossFit podcast by Brooke Entz, and they like did a segue into a Chegg advertisement, which if I've used Chegg, but it's like for college and stuff. And she was talking about like her nephew is starting school and like how he's like fitness and then segued right into academic and doing academic versus like social life and stuff. And it was almost a seamless advertisement because like she made it like, yeah, she like obviously disclosed that it was an advertisement, but it meshed with what she was talking about already. And I was like, oh, that's a really good place for an advertisement and a good way to advertise a service. And it's one that I've used and I know it's good, but thought it was really cool. Anyway.
Speaking of advertisements, if you guys are looking for a nice warm beanie and a way to fight pediatric cancer, you can go to loveyourmelon.com and use promo code @AmeriCarlin at checkout for free shipping.
Or add Bacon and Ethan. It's either
I'm going to use Bacon and Ethan instead.
You go right ahead, Seamus. I don't have to do free shipping to the UK, though.
Oh. Well, you should have specified that.
It is $30 to like $25.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I listen to plenty of shows. Like, my brother and me does a really good job of this. But, like, the ads they do in the middle of the show are, like, the funniest part of the show.
Yeah.
Like, I would never skip the ads, ever. Because I'm still, like laughing out loud at the ads. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, obviously I want to sign up for MeUndies. I already have a subscription, but I still want to sign up.
Code my brother.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing with podcasts. It's another reason that advertisers care so much about podcasters is a lot of podcasters are very picky about brands that they will work with, as are we. Not that we really have this problem, but like, like they'll pay more because we have like an awesome community of listeners that we talk to every single day, and I'm not going to tell you guys to buy a product I don't believe in.
Right.
Well, and like even with the Love Your Melon, you were talking about wanting to work with them before you guys got anything with them.
Yep. That was
That's how most of those relationships turn out in podcasts. Very rarely, from what I've heard, is it like a company just reaching out to you being like, hey, do you want to...
Well, like Squarespace will.
Yeah, but like that a company's usually not going to reach out to you and be like, "Hey, do you want to shill for, Brooklinen?" You kind of got to be like, "Hey, at Brooklinen, I love your sheets. I think that my podcaster listeners would also love your sheets." Which, by the way, if you guys want to buy Brooklinen sheets, just hit me up. I can get a referral code for that. Best sheets I've ever owned in my life. Just saying, if you got dumb coin to drop on some sheets, hit me up. But yeah, so likely, and I've definitely thought about this. I'm like, man, I love this stuff. I would love for my listeners to love this stuff too. And you reach out to a company, and then either they're like, hey, sure, or they're like, we don't really do that, or they just don't ever respond to you.
Yeah, the big thing that we learned early on was ask for what you want. It's being talked about in the chat right now.
Yep.
We were really scared to ask like Seamus to be one of our guests the first time around because we were like, Seamus doesn't want a guest on our show.
Right.
He's like,
You're like, no.
And then we've come to the point with some of these people where like we don't even ask Isaac that he wants to guest. We just put him on the schedule.
Crazy Dragon, that's Isaac's episode. Toy Story 4, that's Seamus' episode.
Am I on Toy Story 4?
Do you not want to do Toy Story 4?
I'll do it
Of course
if
I want to do Toy Story 4. I was just waiting to be asked.
Oh, yeah. Seamus,
We talked about this the other day when you were on the show.
I have a short memory.
Seamus was...
I'm excited for Toy Story 4.
Seamus was in my vlog today making a screwdriver.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I got the notification though.
I saw it. I watched it. I'm like, yep.
Okay, sorry.
It just just your section begins with you sliding like risky business style into the frame, going, "How do you make a screwdriver?"
Wait, do you not know how to make one?
He does now. I taught him.
Well, no, I just don't think we use the same term.
What do you call it?
I don't think we drink that. To be honest, I don't know. I just never heard of it before.
Vodka.
Well,
do you
I've
guys
never
have
had one
vodka?
before. No, we do. I've never mixed it with orange juice before.
That's like I just started drinking drink.
Well, Julie,
Well, I never started drinking that drink.
she does
Wait, what?
homemade vodka.
Well, on the topic of drinking, one of our cast members right now is underage. So
Don't
He's
drink.
underage.
Isaac,
I am.
Oh
Alas.
yeah. I forgot.
And so
You
is
have
Shane.
weird laws. What?
Seamus is 21 now.
James is 21 in America.
I just remember when we were in DC.
I've been legal since I was 18 anyway. So
Oh, yeah. I did clarify in the United States.
but I am 21 now, so it's
Moving
not
on.
even a problem anymore.
I'm currently drinking sangria, so
I'm drinking a
I was
month.
already drunk today.
Because I
It's
was
a bit late for me
probably
now.
I thought about making a coffee.
I'm drinking juice out of my How to Train Your Dragons cup.
Hey,
No spoilers. I still haven't seen that over.
Isaac knows everything.
Spoiler, I see the movie.
Oh wait, is it not out in America yet?
No.
It's
No.
it's not. It doesn't come out
No.
until this weekend, which I'm gonna go
Oh,
see
it
again.
came out. It came out. What's called? Like 3 weeks ago here. What's with the world?
It's been out in
Wait.
Australia for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's insane.
The tides have turned.
I
Wait, so
don't-
how did you see it, Isaac?
There was an early screening that was like sponsored by Fandango that was all across the United States, but I was lucky enough that there was one that was like half hour away from my house. And so
Oh, nice.
I got like Twitter ad sent me it and I was like, holy cow, I'm going all over that. So I was like the second person to book.
No, that yeah, I like that.
I am
No, my
super
friends,
excited.
my friends who love How to Train Your Dragon went to see it on the Friday it came out, and I was in Northern Ireland that day. So when I came home, they'd already seen it, and I was like, "Do you want to see it again?" And they were like, "No," but
Yeah.
they should have.
Do you not go by yourself?
Karen, it's out like everywhere in the
I
world
haven't.
except for America.
I always go to movies by myself because I like the alone time.
I do like the alone time. I love going to the movies by myself. My wife thinks that I'm weird, but
Oh, well, I do that too, Tyler.
No, I haven't gone by myself, so that's not a thing that's happened.
I have no problem going to the movies by myself.
No, I wouldn't have a problem with it. It just isn't.
it's just,
I haven't
how are you going to
done
talk to Abigail if you're at the movies?
Yeah, exactly. I can go now, and the film wouldn't be on. What? I'll go tomorrow. No, I'm working tomorrow. What do you? I'll go. I don't know.
Working?
Is it?
Where?
I got videos to write.
Oh, right. Yeah, but,
That is work.
I'll tell you, sometimes the big part of what we do.
Also,
There's not a lot of
Tori,
writing
when I was
involved.
your age, I wouldn't have gone to the movies alone either. You're 16.
Yeah, no.
It would have been weird
people
then.
there. There's like
Oh yeah, at 16. That
grown
was
men at the movies by themselves.
Yeah.
I'd have had more reason to go alone at 16.
Seamus, are you not 16?
Got more insecure with age.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely been a couple of these movies we've had to see for the show where I'm like an unaccompanied adult, and I feel like I saw Bumblebee by myself, and it was like me and families. I was just like,
So when I went to go see Bumblebee, every year for Christmas, my work rents out a theater, and normally we see Star Wars, but Star Wars didn't come out in December, so we saw Bumblebee. So I saw it with a bunch of not necessarily sober army people, which is great.
Yeah.
It's a great way to see a movie.
see, that sounds like the greatest way to see Bumblebee.
Yeah.
It was a great way to see Bumblebee. It was a great way to see The Last Jedi. Like, that was the best movie theater experience I'd ever had seeing a movie, was seeing Last Jedi with a bunch of army people who were 2 beers in.
2 beers in. That's what it takes for the army.
That's it.
I wish
We were only allowed 2 beers.
Oh, okay. This is totally unrelated to what we do for the show. Seamus is 21. I know you're not supposed to promote. Seamus is 16-year-old Tom Riddle. That's funny. I have gone to the movies alone. I just prefer to go with people. Tori, that's fine. What was I going to say? Oh, for a bonus content, I want to revisit The Last Jedi. I haven't seen it since theaters.
Okay.
You haven't?
No, and I want to watch it.
I had so many because my first viewing of it, I was like, this wasn't that good. And then I was like, no, I'm going to give it another go. Then I gave it a second go. I was like, oh no, this was actually quite good. And then I was like, for the months in between until it came out on DVD, I was kind of like, I'm really undecided on this because I had 2 separate opinions. Then I watched it after DVD and I was like, oh, it was good. And then now I haven't watched it for like a year. Maybe I should watch it again. I'll watch it tomorrow. That's work.
That's work. So How to Train Your Dragon. I guess you don't make How to Train Your Dragon videos.
Sorry?
Do you not make How to Train Your Dragon videos?
I haven't. I could. But I just don't think I would, to be honest. I've got a list of 10 videos I want to make at the moment. I need to get on that before and that's not including improving that titles.
What do you mean?
Or of movies.
We got a couple weeks left. 3.
3.
And then we're going to do Get Out and Us.
Yes. Oh god, I have to watch like grown-up horror movies.
Oh,
no.
I'll listen to that episode. I will not watch that movie.
That's fine.
What, Get Out?
The movie.
Yeah, Get Out.
That is so good.
But that was like definitely a thing that we got feedback from on the survey. People that were like, hey, it would be great if you like once in a while did a horror movie. Like
I would love to hear you shout
they
about
are
it.
good movies, but I get scared.
Oh, so do I.
And I live by
I love
myself.
horror movies.
And I don't want to live by myself and watch a horror movie because I can only watch them at night and then I won't sleep for days.
I had such a great experience seeing Get Out in the theaters that I will save for the show.
Ooh. To be continued.
Very exciting.
Who would you like to see us talk about Get Out and Us with?
Yeah.
Leave us a comment.
Yes.
Oh, I know. Jonathan Carlin and Ben Carlin, please.
Oh gosh, Seamus.
Man,
you're
I
every comment on the survey.
I saw Jay this morning in a better mood than I think I've ever seen him in my life.
Did he get sleep?
Is it because Luke's
don't
walking?
know.
Or is he just so sleep deprived that he's
I think it was probably the latter.
I saw Jay last night in a great mood.
Because normally Jay walks in when we go to the gym and he's just kind of like, hi. And Jay walked in just like, morning, everybody.
There was a guy that was
brother.
And he's like, what's up, man? How you doing? How was your weekend? And I'm like,
there was a guy
Just two guys in a flipping gym.
It's just me and him and Jordan.
Oh,
Where was Tyler?
One sec.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Tyler doesn't go to the gym. We need to.
Hit me with more of your Tyler-related questions while he's not in the room.
Oh, okay. So why does Tyler? No, I didn't have a punchline.
What was your favorite age of Tyler?
My favorite age of Tyler?
Yeah.
Age of Ultron.
That's a complicated question.
That is a really weird question.
Tyler and I
Not
have
that I
been together.
Yeah.
25 maybe.
Well, see, that's the thing that was like Tyler and I have always been the same age. So like we have bad times and we have good times, but like we were, when we were 16, we were both 16. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
stuff like that. I don't know. He just keeps becoming a better person all the time. It's
aw,
really inspiring.
this is
What
been
is the
forever.
funniest story you have with Tyler?
Funniest story. Nothing I could tell with preschool toys present.
But I have one. I have one. Do you secretly hope that he calls his son Ethan?
No, God, no. That would be so weird.
I do secretly hope
I
he
also
calls his son
don't
Ethan.
know what he's going to call his kid.
Yeah, I made up the fact that there's a boy, by the way, to anyone watching. So don't be
He doesn't know.
deluded by my lies. Yeah,
Nobody-
I know it isn't.
Yeah,
It isn't even a thing yet.
Tyler doesn't know.
Are you going to be Uncle Ethan to Tyler's child / children?
I guess I think so. I don't know. That's kind of up to him. He's got two brothers. So, like,
Yeah, I mean, I was just asking because like I'm Aunt Julia to a couple of my best friends' kids, even though they have multiple.
Yeah,
Same. My
siblings.
friends' kids all call me auntie.
I have no idea. We can we'll discuss that when the child is born and has a conception of what he should or she should say.
Or she. That's a clue.
We literally don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Going to be a baby.
Yeah, it's going to be a baby.
There's
Probably
gonna
not
be a
a
baby.
Probably not a dog, as Tyler said on his Instagram story. You can follow at Americolin.
It's just like, you open the book and what to expect when you're expecting, and you open the book and it just says a baby.
So there's a movie, What to Expect When You're Expecting. Hilarious. You guys should watch it. Even if you don't like review it, just watch it. It's so funny.
It is a really good.
Rachel Long wants it to be a girl named Rachel Caroline Long Jr. Carlin.
The junior before the Carlin.
Yes, Junior before the Carlin.
Oh, Jonathan Carlin just retweeted the 25,000 retweets to get Seamus Gorman tattooed on my body tweet.
Seamus, it's been like 4 days now and you're only at 430. So
442 now, and it's only been 2 days. So not even been 2 days. It's been 47 hours.
I'm not worried, to tell you the truth.
I don't know why they like really petitioned to get it going. I was like, I'd given up on it, and then Ben and Jay both decided to retweet it, and I was like,
your stands are going all in on it, Seamus. Like, there have been people all day and all yesterday with like 12 Twitter followers quote retweeting it, going, "Oh my god, all of my followers need to do this." I'm like,
They're gonna make a huge.
shaking in my boots.
I think you get a Seamus Gorman tattoo for.
yeah.
What?
I think if you'd said 1,000 retweets, you'd probably be at 700, 800 now, because people would believe you could make it. But 25,000 is just
Well,
so
the thing
out of
was, I
reach.
didn't feel like coming up with like a good idea for what I could get as a Seamus Gorman related tattoo. I would not want to just get the words Seamus Gorman like across my bicep.
What if you got like a Luxo ball that had his name?
Ooh.
Yeah, well, we don't even need the retweets. Let's just plan this tattoo without any.
You got to get one with me.
Seamus,
I'm not getting a tattoo.
here's the best way to get a tattoo, Seamus, is you and me just don't get tattoos.
I mean, if
Wow.
you want. Like, if you want
I
to tattoo.
donate blood, and they don't let you get tattoos.
Really?
I do not donate blood because needles are terrifying.
So,
I have passed out every time I've donated blood, so I stopped donating blood.
Okay. Rachel Dickhausen,
That's what you get.
I am not getting
I-
rope text.
Wait, what did it? Wait, hold on.
Rachel said he should get Wessie and rope text.
First of all,
Wait. When we were going across the designs for that merchandise, I suggested a Wessie shirt instead of Woody and Jesse are not a couple, but we went with the Woody and Jesse one eventually. So we actually had text. I can find it. You guys carry on talking.
Dead with a rope text tattoo.
Yeah, that communicates something totally different.
I might
than
as
Woody
well.
and Jesse
I might as
are a
well
couple.
just get yeehaw written across.
Or a barbed
I don't
wire.
even know what that means.
Oh yeah,
Barbed
barbed
wire.
wire. You know my barbed wire tattoo goes all the way around.
Yep. I've seen a lot of those types of tattoos here.
That's like a military thing, isn't it?
No.
No, it's a cowboy thing.
Cowboy thing.
It's a cowboy thing. Or a redneck thing. Those are two different things.
Don't say it.
You're not allowed to say those words.
It's not a specifically military thing.
Let's see.
You don't have to be enlisted.
I have 0 barbed wire tattoos.
0.
I have 0 barbed wire.
Actually, I would get the words yeehaw before I got Wessie in rope text. To be honest.
I would get yeehaw. I feel like there's a certain part of me that's like, that's the only tattoo I would get.
Yeehaw boom slam.
Would you get yikes?
That was
Reddit.
almost reality, actually.
Yikes would be a real one. I mean, listen, I'm never gonna get a tattoo.
Like, because with the band, we did the moose tattoos. All 4 of us have them. I can't get it up there.
Well, you got a moose
Oh.
tattoo. That's basically a tattoo of me anyway.
And it was very nearly just
See a moose.
it was very nearly just a
That's my nickname at
tattoo
school.
that we all had.
Zoinks.
Zoink.
That was a thing. It would not be rope text.
I'm gonna get this T-shirt logo exactly like this, but just on my bare chest and upper abdomen.
For fun topics for fun people, for fun topics for fun people, for fun topics for
I
fun
might
people,
take
for
the
fun
border
topics.
out. I might take.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I found it. I found the
Understandable.
design. I found the
the
deleted
border's gonna make
design.
it expensive.
Oh, hold on.
This is the deleted design. But it doesn't have Wessie in the rope
The
tattoo.
cow
It
part?
just
No.
it has fan club in rope tattoo and then Wessie in leopard print.
Seamus's nickname was Moose because his name is Sia Moose.
Well, it originated from the choir that I was in. Well, actually, I got a lovely little photo. Real paying attention. Oh, wait, where am I? No, I'm on the other side. I am here. Wait, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. And this guy,
You figured it out and you pointed to the wrong person.
Seamus
He's pointing at 3 different people.
Gracie. One of the guy standing in front of me is called Isaac Gracie, and he has 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify now. So, yeah. But anyway, so basically, the choir sung in Latin, and in Latin, MUS is pronounced moose. So the guy who did the choir pronounced all of our names as if they were in Latin to help us get Latin pronunciation right, and then it just latched on from there. That's the story.
There it is,
There it is. Now we know. If you didn't know, now you know.
brother.
Does anyone else, anytime you hear Now You Know, think of the old Disney Channel short that was Now You Know because it's my super short show?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I forgot all about
Wow.
Every time I hear that phrase,
I think
Isaac, did that ring any bells for you, Isaac?
Oh, 100% it does.
No bells rung for me.
I mean,
Now you know.
I recently actually watched a few clips from that, in the past year or two. So
I
I'm
do
kind of
not-
familiar with it. Yeah, I don't know. I remember a lot of stuff from Disney Channel. I was a big Disney Channel guy.
You weren't?
I do not remember.
No, I was.
That is-
Oh, you were. I thought so. I was like,
Yeah.
a short in between, during commercial show, maybe
I have
5,
a hard time getting sponsors.
It was
where they would just explain something.
it's
And
all
then-
these beautiful integrations of how to promote everything that the Disney brand was doing. So there's Disney 365 that would cover all the theme parks. There's Disney movie surfers that would do
Oh yeah,
in
go behind the scenes on the
background. Yep, there's tons of the Narnia stuff online for that. And then Mike's Super Short Show was talking about everything that's coming out on DVD back in the day. They covered everything. I loved it.
See, I
I loved
definitely
it, even
remember.
though
I definitely remember things that came out on Disney DVD because they would have that intro that played before the DVDs when
Coming
you rented
soon
them
to video.
that just blew up everybody's
coming
speakers.
soon to video.
It's like you'd have a little intro that was really quiet and like the DVD menu was really quiet, and so you turn the sound up to like a normal volume, and then the intro would be like coming soon. DVD player near you, Disney DVD.
They did that on the VHSs too. The VHSs did the same thing.
Yep.
On video.
And nobody could do anything about it because we're all like pinned to the wall by sound waves. So who's got questions? Also, the plural of moose is meese. It's one goose, two geese, one moose.
No, it's not. The plural of moose is just moose.
One pamplemousse, two pamplemousse.
Plural of moose is just moose, like sheep.
Oh, it's meese.
It's moose. I can 100% guarantee you.
Two sheep.
It's
4, 1,
moose.
1.
Two sheep.
I dead butt was almost like it's a shoot. That's one.
That was an old podcast joke. An old podcast. That was early episodes. We talked about the shoop.
All right, I need a question on how to podcast.
One shoop, two sheep.
Oh, I've got a question.
No.
Blue sheep. What's
All
up?
right, if you have a question too. All right. Well, okay, so what do you do to try to get excited? Or what do you do if you're not feeling excited or feeling creative when going into a podcast or thinking about podcasting? How do you handle that?
We do two things.
Yeah.
One of them you're not old enough to do.
I
And
can't believe Isaac isn't old enough to do it.
the other is we will like play improv games or tell jokes that are just like stupid silly.
Yeah. We've definitely had to do that before where we'll get on like a Skype call. And I mean, because we used to record these things at 10 o'clock at night sometimes when Tyler was working the car dealership. It would be like, he would be like, I got to get home. I don't get home till 9 o'clock. Like, I got to eat. And I was like, I'd been off work for 5 hours. But I was sitting there. So there are definitely times where I was walking to Wawa and like buying one of these Turbo Monster cans and just like shotgunning it right before we went on.
But then there's a lot of like, and this was something we actually realized probably at PodCon was like, if you're not on, do something to get on.
Right.
Like,
and we've had very few times and that's where a lot of the intro came from. A lot of the refinements to the intro is just because it's really hard to not be psyched once you're like, welcome back to Bacon and Eggs.
I'm Tyler Carl.
And I'm Ethan Chill.
And this week we're going to the moon.
As soon as that clicks, as soon as I hear Tyler go, howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. My brain's just like, all right, buddy, it's go time. Let's rock it.
Dude, I totally know what you mean. That's awesome.
At this point, we could probably just listen to the intro music and then do it and just be hyped.
Oh my god, our intro music is rad.
I love your intro music.
Thank
It's
you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Who hates it?
Yeah.
Who hates it? Beat him up.
Seamus wants to know. Hello, Seamus from the chat. How do you have time to make vlogs and podcasts alongside a day job? Ethan.
That's a him question. Ethan does not have a day job. Ethan is a full-time vlogger. And
my vlogs are generally very, very simple. And I only use like 2 or 3 segments. I do have a hard time finding time to film, which is not an excuse. Like, I need to find ways to make work interesting and get comfortable filming at work.
That's a tough one.
That's a really tough
That has
one.
definitely been a big thing for me.
What you should do is hide cameras in sofas
Well,
and then
I work with
film
is
from
like-
the sofas.
I work with someone who's adamantly against having their picture or likeness or anything on social media.
Well, just post one, get them angry, and then you're good from there.
And I don't need that lawsuit.
But there's definitely
Would someone sue for that? Sorry.
This
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's definitely times making the vlog where even it's not even work or anything. It's just like I'll get like anxious about like bringing my camera somewhere.
Yeah. And
I
it's
definitely
very challenging.
Like I always feel weird bringing the camera into restaurants. I don't know why. I do.
I don't feel weird when we're together
No, but like
because we look like just like a filmmaking team when we're together.
Right.
Because we have a big camera, a little camera.
When I was talking to somebody about this, is like I think I just like I've just gotten to the point in my life with doing all this where I just like exude social media creator. And so like I'd be sitting at the airport in Charlotte like 7:30 in the morning, like on my laptop editing a photo. Somebody comes up to me and just like, "Are you like important?"
It's always that always happens in airports. I can confirm. Always in airports, like because like you're sat in an airport for a while, right? So you like get your computer out to edit, and you always find people like trying to take photos of you working because they feel like you're important if you're doing something like that.
Oh, there was somebody that straight
every
up
time.
Carlin?
There's somebody that straight up like in the Providence airport took. I looked up to see them taking a picture of me. And I don't know.
Maybe they're a sly bacon and eggs fan.
I don't know if they were just like, we know who you are, we're aware of you, we saw like, you know,
Zephyr drones, man.
Whatever, yeah. Or if they were just like, man, this is a mid-20-something on a computer in sweatpants. What is this guy doing?
I'll say, like, weirdly enough, airports is where I'm most comfortable vlogging.
Yeah, I don't worry about the other people there at all.
Yeah, like airports, I'm super comfortable. Disney, I was only comfortable because of Ines and Pixels, and even then, I was just like at the beginning, I was like, "Oh, here's my camera," and then by like the end of the day, I was like, "We got lost in a parking lot, like just in the middle of the monorail, like just not caring."
Well, that's because we gave up because we lost our car in the parking lot.
Yeah, we had given up all.
My new car is one we could lose in a parking lot.
Yeah,
Great.
it's hard to pick out.
I mean, in public places like airports and theme parks and stuff, it's like you're gonna get more interaction with random people, even if they don't know who you are, just because like
you have a camera out.
Because you have a camera out, you look more important, and like
Ethan. But the thing is, Ethan is more important.
You like
fair.
You're gonna gloss
I don't know. I feel like important people hide in airports. Like I saw Joel McHale in the airport coming home from California. We were at Burbank. And he was like in a coat, even though it was hot, like hiding in the corner.
Yeah,
and
still noticed him. Your average person doesn't like understand that concept, though. They're going to be like, "Oh my god, famous people want to be recognized in airports." Like, and that's the only time where they have run-ins. I mean, maybe not in LA, but like certainly in Roanoke, Virginia, that's the only time they have run-ins with like famous people is when they happen to be at the airport.
Right.
I was vlogging on a beach trip one time at like it's the USS Lexington. It's an old battleship, and they also used it in Pearl Harbor. And there was this little girl. She's probably like 11. She was like, "Oh, I want to be a vlogger." And she just came up to me and started had a camera out. And she was like, "Oh, what do you do? Like, how do you like?" Just start asking me questions. And I'm like, "I don't know what I'm doing." But
filming. I'll figure out what to do with this B-roll later.
You see that thing over there? That thing looks cool.
Right.
I'm taking video of it to figure out if I want to do something with it next week.
Right. Yeah, like I have so much video footage that I've just decided not to use. I'm like, nah, that doesn't fit.
Oh yeah, I nix stuff all the time. We have a question from the chat. What is the best way to record an interview style podcast? Skype, phone, something else? I don't know what the best way is. I know what way we use, and it works, I think, pretty well.
Yeah, we have yet to have anybody have a true problem with Skype.
We use Skype, and we record independent audio tracks. So what that means is everybody wears monitor headphones, and we sync the audio. We all record our own audio, and we sync it up at the first with 8 claps. Clap 8 times, they clap 4 times.
Plenty of people just call each other on the phone.
Yeah, that works too. But the biggest thing is recording independent audio tracks and then stacking them.
Yeah,
that's gonna get your.
Or doing it in the same room as each other.
But you gotta have. If you are just getting into podcasting,
don't do it in the
don't do it in the same room.
Because you can't use. You need 2 computers, which is not a problem. But like USB mic, it's a lot of hassle.
Yeah, you can't do it like that with USB mics.
Braden, yeah, we could use Discord as well. We just happened to start on Skype because we started the podcast before we even knew what Discord was. And we also record on Audacity. You don't need anything more complicated than Audacity.
No, Welcome to Night Vale is recorded on the same mic we use and the same editing program we use, which is Audacity.
Yeah. I mean, it's
No,
whatever.
actually, Griff recently changed the microphone, and I don't like it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Cecil has a new mic, and it doesn't sound as good. And they were literally went on at the beginning of an episode, and we're like, "We got a new microphone. It sounds way better." And I'm like, "Sounds like you're recording from a soup can."
My podcast is Discord. Braden, you are a fellow podcaster. What's your podcast called? And so that the tech, because I'm broke. We use Discord and screen record function and camera for edit. Oh, you edit on the camera?
Huh.
Hold on. Do they pull the audio?
I wouldn't keep up with Skype. Yeah, if your internet doesn't work right, then just use the phone. Like that's
call somebody.
Not a problem.
Isn't that what Perspective Z does?
Is that what they're doing?
No, I just recorded on Perspective Z. I can answer this. One of them here, but I can answer this. So I was just on their episode. It came out today, actually. If you haven't listened to it yet, go do that because it's rad.
It is.
All their episodes, even the ones I'm not on, because it's rad. But
it is a really good show.
$1 million. $1 million.
Yeah, they do Skype, same as we do. Lots of people use Skype.
Okay.
It's kind of
maybe it was their early, like first couple. I think she was talking, or they use their phones, the recording program on their phone.
Oh yeah, I mean people have done that.
Yeah, there have been times where we've had like ads or Patreon reads that we needed to record later that I've done just like.
Seamus recorded his first episode with us through his phone.
He did.
I did. That's how I did my audio back then. Good times.
I mean, like, phones are so good now that you can use them for almost any, like, if that's what you have, use what you have. So you don't need to go buy a mic if you already have a phone that has, ability.
I still advise buying a microphone. You can get a Rode shotgun mic for your iPhone for like $20, and it's going to sound better than your phone microphone.
I should have known that back in the
day. If that's what's keeping you from doing it, then just don't get it.
Oh yeah, no. If all you want to do is record a podcast and upload to iTunes, you can download Anchor, and they will do
there's
everything
apps that you
for
can.
you.
Yeah, you can talk into the phone, and it'll make it into a podcast.
How did you get this shot?
Next question: what do you feel you've improved on the most? Our editing has improved a lot.
Our editing has improved a lot, as has our improv.
Yeah, improv and presence.
Yeah, just like being funny on microphone.
That's hard to do.
Something that is easily teachable. You just have to do it a lot. We've done like 72 episodes.
It's not teachable though. Like you can
take classes and stuff.
You can take classes and there aren't audiobooks on it. I'm sure there's regular books on it, but you can Google like improv games to get your creative juices flowing and get all that out. You can do like acting warm-ups, like shaking out stuff to get your blood flowing so that you're more comfortable. There's things you can do.
Yeah, you're gonna find what works for you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with Ethan.
But if you don't know how to start, just copy our show completely. Take our intro. You can't take our music because it costs a lot of money. But you can see what we say in the intro. You can word for word copy our podcast.
Well, and I remember like and just make sure you don't develop like bad habits, because like I know that when we first started, I would during the course of the show drink like 4 or 5 beers. and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, you can't do that. You're gonna start to depend on that to make the show, and that's how you develop alcoholism and have problems. Okay, we're cutting that.
I'm living the dream over here.
Then I moved to the energy drinks, and there was a while where like I had to go get energy drinks so I could record the show.
Right.
Like I would stop on my way home, buy myself a Monster or an Upkick or whatever it is.
Rockstar we did for a while.
We did Rockstar for a while. I've sampled every Rockstar flavor available. They're all terrible.
Comments real quick. Braden followed up. My podcast is called Idiots Talking. We're a YouTube-only podcast that talks about different things each week. Sounds like fun. I would recommend getting your podcast onto iTunes. That's not a particularly hard process. You just need to host it with a company called Podbean. It's $15 a month. It is worth your money.
If you have questions about doing that, feel free to DM us or shoot us an email at baconandeggsmedia@gmail.com.
Yeah. Seamus has AirPods Flex Alert. Yeah, we've seen that a lot.
Somebody asked a question a second ago.
Ethan has AirPods too.
I do have AirPods. I mentioned it on the vlog one time, and I don't think I've put them in since then on camera. I do have AirPods.
I have a question.
It is Isaac from What's Those Videos.
So AirPods, do you like them? Should I buy them?
It's $200.
They're not.
I like them, but they're not worth the money.
like 120.
Okay, so like this might be like a weird first world problem, but the headphones I use currently to work out in, I don't like. So I'm looking for new
headphones.
Huh?
I don't know how good they'd be for working out. They've fallen out my ears in inconvenient times.
Yeah, they fall out all the time.
Okay, then I won't get those.
I've never done any exercise in them.
Yeah, you should get the Beats X.
So those were the other ones I was looking at.
Yeah,
those sound really good. They sound better than the AirPods, and they're more comfortable than the AirPods.
Okay.
Look cooler.
I actually got my AirPods to replace my pair of Beats X that I just absolutely beat the living crap out of. And I was what?
Well, now you work out with a trainer, so you don't.
Yeah, I don't work out in my Bose. No. Although the Bose pissed me off the other day.
Do you have the ones that are like noise canceling?
I have the QC35 wireless.
Same. I don't have the 2s. I have the 1s. But the only difference is his have Google,
Alexa,
Google
Assistant.
Otherwise, they're the exact same, and the cost are probably the same. But when I bought mine, they're out of stock. Okay, my sister and I want to start a podcast. I know how to get them on Spotify and iTunes, so that's cool. But what do you guys use to edit the audio? It's a program called Audacity, and it's free on every operating system.
It's also what I used for many years to make my videos, so
exactly.
I highly recommend it.
You use what?
I also used Audacity. Like I would use it for anything. I recorded my audio externally for a long time using Audacity. I think it's great.
It is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're doing 1-2 track stuff, Audacity is pretty darn good. I will say that with a 2-hour recording block, there have been times that we have like reached the limit of Audacity's brain capacity. To the point where it just starts to like, I'll click export and it'll be like exporting. I'm remaining 4 hours. And I'm just like,
I would recommend learning how to export MP3s on Audacity. It's going to make your life a lot easier. What do y'all use to edit videos? I do everything on my iPad with a program called Luma Fusion. It's $20. Mostly to learn that I could do it for $20. But Ethan uses...
I use Adobe Premiere Plus.
Yeah.
Premiere Pro, not Premiere Plus. Premiere Pro. And it's the best video editing software I've ever touched in my life.
Heck yeah.
I use Adobe for everything except the podcast, and it is... I would love to be able to use Audition for the podcast, but we can't.
My brother's name is Jonathan, not John. What was your biggest unexpected challenge when you started podcasting? We'll get to that.
That was the question I missed earlier.
Okay. What do I use to edit videos? We just answered that. What's a good length for starting podcast? However long you want to talk. There are podcasts I listen to that are 7 minutes long, and there are podcasts I listen to. I wouldn't go longer than a 2-hour recording block.
Although we have had a couple people say that they wanted longer episodes.
That we have had that, and but those people are few and far between.
Yeah. So we do it. We now cap it at 2 hours for recording. Like a couple minutes pass for whatever reason. Like stuff happens.
It's fine, but generally when we hit 1 hour and 45 on recording, we wrap the show up, and that takes about 15 minutes.
Yeah. And basically whatever time that turns into is.
Oh, and here's the other thing. This is a good segue into the next question. What was your biggest unexpected challenge when you started the podcast? Watching a movie is 2 hours. Recording a podcast is 2 hours. Editing a podcast is 4 hours.
8 hours.
Social media and Discord is way more time than you think it's going to be.
Like when you start a podcast and you want to actually go for it, like go all the way for it, congratulations. This is your new job.
Right. You now have a second 40-hour work.
Right. You have another, maybe not 40 hours, but you definitely have another job. Like you've added a part-time job onto whatever you do.
And that we did not realize.
Now, granted, that could be a lot less. If you record a 10-minute podcast every week.
On something you already know a lot
about. Yeah, I could knock that out in half an hour.
Yeah, but you still have to do all the Twitter and Instagram and all that jazz.
But yeah, just the time commitment, honestly, is the biggest unexpected challenge. Every other challenge I think we expected, like the getting people to listen, we expected that to be a problem.
We didn't, like when we first went into it because of Super Carlin Brothers, we didn't know if our first episode was going to have like 20,000 downloads, 200,000 downloads, or like 20. We had no idea, and it was like 156.
It was we released 3 episodes on day 1, and we had 143 downloads.
143. That's what it was.
Yep.
So,
And we did not hit that number again until Ben came on in December.
and we haven't gone under 200 in 2019.
Cool.
Nice.
Good job.
Proud of you guys.
Yep. We passed 100,000 downloads a couple weeks ago.
I'm really proud of you for that as well.
There's a video of me.
Savoring open some champagne.
No, I just opened the champagne. I sabered the gingerbread house.
That's what it was.
But yeah, there's a great video of me from a couple weeks ago just spraying champagne all over a GoPro.
First 24-hour podcast coming when? We will not do a 24-hour podcast. We would do.
I would do a full day live stream.
I would do a full day live stream.
But
as
like
well.
that would have to be the kind of like, hey, we finally went pro. Like we made this into a full-time job, and now we are going to celebrate.
I would do a 24-hour live stream for charity, but
Yeah, we've looked at that. As well.
I don't.
think I'd do that. They do 40.
But I don't think I'd ever get around to arranging it.
Well, we wouldn't be on the whole time.
No.
Mhm.
And I would be fully like film myself staying awake for 24 hours.
I mean, I could definitely do that. Like,
I think I'd struggle. I've only done it once in my life.
Do you use anything to keep your thoughts organized while recording? Rachel and I just use a Google Doc to keep things together. So do you use something like that? Or do you just go with the flow? This is an important question because for beginners, do exactly what you're doing, Kidsy. This is a habit that we probably should do and do not. We use a very loose outline. It's got our script at the top. It's got the stats that we do right at the beginning, and then it's got whatever.
if there's things we really need to hit, ads we need to do, stuff like that, things we need to talk about.
Those
It's
are
got
in there.
their listed there as well.
But otherwise, Ethan and I do not take notes on the films. We do not. plan
We used to.
anything.
We used to take notes on the films.
We used to take very intense notes.
But there's no wrong way to do it. Is the thing. It just depends on what you're talking about and how much you know about the topic, how much you feel comfortable going off book for the topic.
And if you're doing a roundtable nonfiction, which is what we do and what you do, Kidsy, having notes is never going to be a bad thing.
But it's also not going to, make you perfect.
Right.
Mhm.
Thank you, Wolfie.
These are nice seats. I love these
These
seats.
are nice seats. Actually, the 24-hour live streams are not good. My friend did one, and he was absolutely mentally destroyed for 4 days. Yeah, I mean, sacrifice.
The risk you got to take, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been up for 24 hours doing stuff plenty of times.
Yeah, same. I went to college.
I was like college.
What are minimum equipment requirements for starting a podcast? Honestly, the minimum equipment you need is an iPad or an iPhone.
Yeah,
You
Or-
need
That's
Phone.
pretty big.
some kind of smartphone.
any smartphone that you can download Anchor onto.
There's other apps too.
Yeah, but Anchor was just bought by Spotify, so they're the real deal.
I don't get it though. Like I would not want to listen to one of those shows.
No, me neither. But
But
they're
people
out
do it.
there if you
They're
want
out
them.
there. Anchor is an app where you can basically you just talk into the phone. I think you can do it with a couple people, possibly. But you talk into the phone and then it uploads and publishes a podcast for you.
Yep. You can upload like your artwork.
Like no editing, nothing. Just
Now, beyond that, I would recommend using a desktop computer, Audacity, and at least a Yeti Snowball microphone
or a laptop.
or
It
laptop.
really doesn't matter. Laptop's probably better, honestly.
Yeah,
Laptop won't automatically shut off if the power goes off.
it's true.
We have yet to run into that. But I was thinking about the other day when I helped the Super Carlin brothers move, and I was like, what is this big, heavy thing? And Derek was like, that's the uninterruptible power supply. And I was like, don't have that! You know?
They have a lot.
And
more-
Audacity doesn't have an autosave.
They have a lot more budget than we do. We're actually about to have that if we're moving into their office, but I don't know
just
if
saying.
that's happening.
Yeah. It is not something we have attached to our computers. So, like, power goes off, episode go bye-bye.
Oh
It's going to
no.
happen eventually.
How do you get yourself out there and
Battery
turn-
backup.
and
Do
branch
it.
out when it comes to guesting?
Sorry, Ines, what?
I said I'm not sure what kind of battery backup they have, but they sell like inexpensive battery backups that will keep your computer on for at least 5 minutes so you can save it.
Oh, I'm sure. It's just like I
It's
had
just
never,
something
I had
we don't-
never thought about it until a week ago.
Oh.
But that is a good question. How do you get yourself out there in terms of guests and branch out when it comes to guesting? When it comes to guesting, I will make time and effort for your show if you have been doing it consistently for 6 months and you have a genuine audience. Otherwise, if I have time, I will come on your show no matter what. in terms of reaching out to get guests, we go. What I do is I target like a network. So first who was the first guest? Nate. So that didn't count. The second guest. Phantom Menace. Julia. So then, like, we sort of dove into the.
And then nobody wanted to Attack the Clones, and then we got Seamus.
Yeah, so we did like Super Carlin Brothers Network. So we had Seamus and Ben. No, Ben was the first guest.
Oh, so was I just thrown on Revenge of the Sith because no one else wanted it?
No, we wanted to have you on the show.
We wanted you specifically for Revenge of the Sith. We made a mistake early on where we were like, let's pick guests and have them review movies their audience wouldn't expect them to review, thinking that like this would be a cool way for them to interact in a new way with their audience.
Oh my god, number one piece
that doesn't work.
Play
to your strengths, whatever they are. Just...
I could have told you that back then, but I was like, oh, okay, they can do what they want.
We didn't know any better. I mean, that was early days, Seamus. That was less than 6 months.
So that
I just thought you were doing it for the fun of it, but no, I thought that might be the case.
But so basically, we went down that network. So we had Seamus and John Negroni and Tessa and Brizzy and Ben and Jonathan and Wheezy Waiter and Derek and Jordan.
I'm still impressed you got Brizzy and Ryan George on.
Ryan George. Here's the cool thing about Ryan George. Screen Rant has 5.4 million subscribers, but Ryan George has like 7,000 Twitter followers.
He's growing fast on YouTube. Like I subscribed to him when I first found pitch meetings, which must have been like 5 or 6 months ago. And he had like 20,000 subscribers. Just check now, he's got 80K. Like, every one of his videos gets on his main channel gets like 100,000 views. They're just all like 1 minute long.
Ryan George's main channel videos are hilarious.
I know. I wish he could just do that full time. I think everyone should subscribe to them.
But then you'd have to stop doing pitch meetings. And
but eventually you'll run out of pitch meetings. He can do pitch meetings on his main channel.
Conversation yesterday.
Ryan George.
If he had done pitch meetings on his main channel, would it have had the same success?
No, absolutely not. He wouldn't have come up with it.
Because I just don't like. No, but he said he came up with the idea because he released a video like a year ago, which was like Justice League pitch meeting, and then he turned it into a series for Screen Rant. But the point I was trying to make is that I hate supporting Screen Rant, but I like supporting Ryan George. So I wish he just did the series on his main channel.
Well, if he had a Patreon, would you support?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
You should message him and tell him that.
Yeah. In regards to...
You have more subscribers than he does.
Yeah.
Technically, Screen Rant has 1.4 million. If I was getting the views, Screen Rant did. No,
Isaac is the world's best human.
Isaac is the world's best human.
Isaac is the world's best human.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I said that. I texted... I was talking to Matt in our Discord server one time, and I was like, Matt, you're such a great person. You're like the nicest person I know. And he responded, he goes, I thought Isaac was the nicest person you knew. You're not wrong. Isaac is the nicest.
Fair enough.
You're sick.
Am I ever considered in the conversation of nicest people you know?
No. That's not even like, I wouldn't even think that was.
I forgot that there was more to the ask for what you want quote. I just thought it was ask for what you want.
It hopes you get what they ask for. But with guests, there are guests that we have not reached out to. Like Ryan George was out of network. That was let's see if this guy does it. But there are guests that we want that have either not responded or said no.
Who said no? Oh wait, no, you probably can't say that. But
I'll tell you.
Let's go. I want to hear the tea.
What if a ferret said no?
I don't know
really?
Oh, I do know. I follow him. He said no.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's friends the odd ones out.
We have found that YouTubers are super willing to go and do podcasts because they're like, and obviously you guys are YouTubers, but like we've had other people express this and they're like, yeah, no, it's cool. Like I get to just come talk about a movie for 2 hours. Like it's very low stress. I don't have to do anything. Like,
I don't have to edit.
I don't even have to be on camera. Like I don't have to look nice. Anna Brisbane recorded in her closet. Like
we woke her up and she recorded in her closet. And we're like, Anna, can you do the Bubbles voice to read our Patreon ad? And she was like,
give me 2 seconds. Yeah.
I just woke up. She did it anyway.
Well, I think
Wow.
it's also fun too because it's like a
It is.
completely different medium than what like we're used to, and so it's so interesting to actually like take part in it.
Yeah. Well,
Even Seamus has said this. He's like, nobody lets me talk about Toy Story for 2 hours uninterrupted.
it's true. We're gonna give Isaac that opportunity with How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'll
so
be able to.
for that.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to see the movie.
I'm excited to hear that episode and see that movie. I finally saw the trailer for the first time this weekend because I don't have TV.
Oh, that trailer just crushes me every time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I haven't
I-
seen the
I get-
trailers.
like emotional every time I see it.
That's
I was
what-
walking through the living room because I was visiting my parents, and my dad's watching like lacrosse, and it came on, and I was like, "Wait, I have not seen this trailer yet."
Oh, the TV trailer sucks.
You know what? I hadn't seen it.
No, I know, but like compared to the theater trailer.
Should I watch the theater trailer?
Oh yeah,
Oh no, I did.
I
See
haven't watched
I
it.
lied. I saw the theater trailer in front of Mary Poppins.
Yeah, the TV trailer with Ed Sheeran in it is not as good as the one with the people singing Tom Petty.
Hmm.
It's really that song that gets me.
oh.
No, the whole thing gets me.
Jay Baruchel is like my all-time celebrity crush, so I was like right on this series as soon as it came out.
Oh, they're great movies.
Mhm, they are.
I'm super excited because I need to watch the other two again before I go see the third one
Yeah, I will.
because I have not seen either of them in a while.
So
I
I
did
started-
watch the second one. It makes me cry like 7 times.
I
I
think
believe it. I started trying to like write a script for How to Train Your Dragon, and I just kind of like ended up watching the first movie, and then I watched like most of the second movie. That was at like 5 a.m. Yesterday.
Oh man.
I got a DM from Isaac. He's like, "Hey, I wrote an entire script for you." I was like, "Oh God." A quick question from L. Oat Payne, and I'm only getting into it because they're scrolling up. With podcasting, is just go for it a good philosophy? Would it be unwise to jump into it on a limb? Do you feel like getting started is important, or starting well with good content important? You obviously want to put out the best possible content, but you cannot let the fact that you are doing something you've never done before hold you back.
Our professional advice, based on what we did and what we've learned and what we talked to other people about, is make an episode. Make your first episode,
Listen to it.
listen back to it, delete it.
Start again.
Never post it. Don't keep it in the reserves for like, oh, maybe I want to post this one. No,
It's bad,
just get rid of it. You cannot do it the first time,
but do it again. And you'll be
but do it again. Yeah,
Bless
do
you.
that once.
Because what it'll teach you what really goes into it, and it's more than you think, and less.
Because you got to try it before you post it, but you also can't try it too much. At some point, you just have to post it. That's important.
Can I hop in with some advice too?
Yes.
Of course.
I think if you want to commit to creating content online, the biggest thing is just choosing a schedule and then never stray away from it.
Yes.
Like be
Ever.
unwilling to not post.
Right. This is a big one, Isaac. I want to build on this if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
So basically, here's the way you need to look at it: is you've just uploaded something online. You now have a new part-time job, and you do not have vacation time for the first year. You don't get it. You haven't earned the hours. So you have to, like, for the first year, you cannot miss a single episode.
Right.
Period.
Especially with a podcast. Especially with a podcast.
It's so
Because,
important.
like, people will not forgive that.
People will stop listening. If you like, you are part of their routine, and when you pull yourself out of that routine,
You get forgotten.
immediately.
The other thing is too, is that when you're immediately starting out, the only way that you're going to actually get to become like a really good content creator and create quality content is if you rigorously do it. So there's going to be times where you're on streaks where it's like everything is beautiful, everything's turning out just how you want.
Oh yeah.
And then you'll have a new threshold for what you think is quality, and you'll suddenly get into a rut. and you have to push through that.
I had this exact thought this morning when I was making my lunch about like ruts, and like I was trying to like pinpoint all of like looking at my videos from last year and pinpoint all my ruts and like pits, and I was like saying like, oh yeah, that was a good part. Oh, that was a rut. Like
I can point to every video I feel that I don't feel 100% about. Well, I knew when I posted it that I didn't love that video, or videos where I knew that they were going to like dip and they weren't my best work, but I had to stick to it. And then you just have to keep going. It's super important.
Yeah, I'm going to also like interject. Things that you think will do well might not, but things that you just upload might do really well.
That's so true as well.
Because I like my best video is one that I filmed at like 4 o'clock in the morning and didn't think anyone would watch it. And that's like my most viewed video of all.
That's actually just a general rule of thumb for me, is that make every video better than your last. Because if it's better than your last video, then it's your best video. And therefore every video has just as much right to do well as the one before. If I'm thinking halfway through a video, I don't really like this one that much, I shouldn't make this off stop and I'll start making something else.
Here's the big thing. Here's a big one right here. You can't bank on viral success. But you won't be virally successful if you don't put yourself in the position to be.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I completely agree with that. Because the thing is that you can make a career out of it never getting viral.
Yeah.
It's more important to have evergreen content, which is the stuff that people will watch for decades. That's what you have to focus on creating. You're trying to make consistent content that will continue to get better over time, that's going to last forever. You can go for things that are topical at times, but you're looking for things that are going to hold up.
Yeah.
I'm so passionate about
it. A little example of that. Early on, you'll notice that our episodes are numbered. And there was a point where we were like, if we number these, then people feel like they have to watch them in order.
Right. And there's no need.
There's no need to watch them in
order.
order.
Never forget about.
Oh, so you stopped numbering them?
We stopped numbering them, yeah. Actually, I think Julia's first episode was the last one to be numbered. Possibly.
Well, not Iron Man. Can you change the names?
You can change the entire podcast.
I probably should go back and
fix the titles.
But I haven't. Honestly,
improve that title.
I could literally
we could change the audio.
Right, like I could just go upload The Trooper by Iron Maiden for every episode. And all the downloads would stay, all the descriptions would stay. It would just be a different audio file.
Can you please do that?
No, we will not.
I will not do that. But like if
but
tomorrow,
that's the thing with podcasts is you can change.
If tomorrow Denny's is like, hey, we want to sponsor your show. We want to do the
breakfast.
We want to be the breakfast food sponsor, and we want to go back to all your episodes and be the breakfast food sponsor. I can record
a different restaurant.
What?
Where we don't mention a different restaurant.
Yeah, I can record like today's breakfast food brought to you by Denny's, and just go drop it into every episode.
And they would pay us like $20. We take it.
I would not do that work for $20.
What has been, in your opinion, the most successful way to drive downloads? How about community building? These are two totally different things, but they're sort of the same. They both come down to networking. Driving downloads is getting interesting guests on the show and having them share it with their audience by asking them to share it with their audience, saying, hey, Seamus, thank you so much for coming on our show. It would mean the world to us if you could shout us out in a video. And he does. And then we get a ton of downloads. And it makes it, because Seamus gave us 2 hours of his time and then 7 seconds of his video.
Yeah.
And it made a huge difference for our show. Right. How about community building? We drive community.
What video did I do? Did I do that at the start of the video once?
You started a video with it, and I think you've done it in a different part of the video as well. You also.
I don't remember. I have no recollection of doing that. Sorry.
But it makes a difference for us. And, it just depends.
But that's 7 seconds of work for you that can be, astronomically important to a podcaster.
Right.
I gave an intro to my video.
How about community building? It's sort of the same thing. We target people in our communities, and we do what we can to build them up and have them know people. A good example of this is KT.
Yeah.
She entered our Discord.
Yep.
And because of her, I think 5 or 6 other people followed behind her. So that's huge. And that's good. Like that's what we want. We want to help you, but we also want you to share it with your friends for community building.
Right.
Tell your friends about the show. When we have new people into the Discord, we try to be very welcoming. If they give us an address, we try to send them a thank you card.
Yeah, our community is currently the size where we can be sort of hands-on with the community.
With
and
every member.
And as it gets bigger, we have people in the community that step up in our place to be pillars of the community.
Yeah, I mean, we have an amazing moderating team. We have 3 moderators for a Discord of like 30 active.
They are the best moderators as well.
Seriously, like, I could not do it without these people.
Valiant volunteers.
They're paying us to volunteer. It's amazing.
I know.
The wildest thing. Yeah, Rachel's moderating the chat right now, and
thank you, Rachel.
Isaac is better than Seamus.
Bro.
That's kind of rude.
Who said that? It's true, but who said that?
I like both of them the same. Isaac is.
I prefer Isaac.
That's it.
You know, whenever someone says something like that, I always go on their channel to see if they're subscribed to me and see if this is an actual hater or just someone like making a sarcastic joke. And 90% of the time, they're just people presumably making sarcastic jokes. But now I can't find this person's comment.
Usually it's me in Seamus's live streams just being like, Seamus Gorman sucks.
You wouldn't be wrong, but like.
Oh, that reminds me. I switched my YouTube and I'm not subscribed to Seamus. Hold on.
You're not subscribed. That's cool. I don't really mind.
Well, ads in SCB very often.
Yo,
we have to work for those.
Scotty, you brought up something. No, maybe he didn't. But anyway, he brought up a good point. Or I brought up a good point based on what he said. But when you start a podcast, your friends and family do not care.
They will not listen.
They will not listen.
They may listen to the pilot, but your pilot sucks, remember.
Some of them will. Yeah. Some of them.
Oh, my mum would listen to every single episode.
I would probably get more success going now and posting a thing on Facebook that's just like, hey guys, been doing this for, almost 2 years now, a year and a half now. I know a lot of you listened right at the beginning. It would mean a great deal to me if you just went and listened to the newest episode. Let me know, how we've gotten better and everything. And people will listen to that. They'll because you did suck at the beginning. We sucked at the beginning, and there were plenty of people that were just like, yeah, this is cool, but like.
Wait,
suck.
Did you say you didn't get advertisement from SCB at the beginning?
Say that again?
Did you just say you didn't get advertisement from SCB at the beginning?
Oh, no. Super Carlin Brothers just give us more support than any other single creator.
For sure.
I was about to say that's the whole reason why I even knew you had a podcast was one day.
You do not understate the support Super Carlin Brothers.
No, for sure.
I was responding to somebody said an ad from SCB would help me out, but we do not currently still get ads from Super Carlin Brothers. Yeah.
An ad from SCB helped me out too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I lost that thought completely. That just.
Okay, can I ask a question, you guys?
Yes.
Okay, what is your dream, or what is the end game for the
Avengers?
For the podcast? Like, what do you want it to become, or what are you trying to get out of it?
There is a pretty middle class number.
Yeah.
That would satisfy me wholly as a full-time job podcast.
Yeah, I want it to be. I want it to be one facet of my life as an internet creator, an internetainer.
But the end goal would be that we've looked at a lot of different revenue ideas and business ideas with Bacon and Eggs Media. Either having the podcast on our own and then helping produce content for others, or teaching podcasting classes. But basically, the idea would be that at some point in the future, podcasting was our full-time profession.
Yep.
I want that to happen too.
100%. Yeah.
Because
that's awesome.
Even if we make 2 episodes every week, like a flagship episode and a Sunday brunch, that would take maybe a day and a half of the week.
That being
Wow,
said,
imagine if you could do it full time.
That's what I'm saying, is to be able to do the show and make enough revenue that what I do with the rest of my week makes up the difference.
And that being said, we can probably do the show in 15 hours a week. But if you gave me a week off from my day job and sat Ethan and I in an office and said, work on Bacon and Eggs for 40 hours of this week, we would have stuff to do at the end of that 40 hours.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of. That's the big problem with something like this, and I'm sure you guys know with creators. It's like there's not a whole lot of it that you can front load.
Yeah, a lot of it comes.
Like a lot of it, it's like you have to be posting every day, and like you can't even schedule Instagram posts.
Yeah.
You can't schedule an Instagram post.
No.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can't schedule an Instagram post. You can schedule Twitter posts, but like
I didn't know you could do that either.
some amount of it is just going to be like, this is work I'm going to have to do every day.
I should just schedule Twitter posts to go out.
Yeah, you can just do that, Seamus. There's like an app.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just schedule a tweet to go out in like 2090 and then just be like, and then everyone will be like, oh my God, he's tweeting from beyond the grave.
This one says, has Tyler's brother's success been more of a blessing or stepping stone to bacon and eggs, or more of a curse with people constantly associating y'all? Is associating a good thing? I think, or association a good thing? Yes, association is a good thing.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
There is no downside to it. I won't pretend that like it's never frustrated us, but it is exclusively a good thing. We are only getting in our own way when we're frustrated by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go to sleep now. Okay. Okay. And thank you for talking to me.
Thank you for sharing.
We always love talking with you, Seamus.
I love talking to you too, Ethan.
I can't wait until
no,
pledges on Patreon so that we have to visit each other.
Congrats on 70 patrons, by the way. And you're on 71 now, but well done. And I'll see you soon. Okay.
Yep,
I'm not going to make this any more dramatic than it is. Bye. Bye, Isaac.
Bye.
Pledge $500.
He talked about in that episode, he's like, do I have to pledge or can I just buy you a plane ticket?
In the UK sleep.
And I was like, yeah, you can just, Seamus, I'll just come visit you if you buy me a plane ticket, dude. Like,
there are things, nobody asked about it, but with community development, there are like certain points that we try to hit on. We're fine with talking about anything. We don't talk sex, drugs, politics, and we keep it family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
We do that intentionally. It creates a better community without sacrificing real conversation.
yeah, it intrigues more people than it alienates.
Yes. And well, like, here's the thing is like, nobody is going to leave because it is family friendly.
No, and there's definitely still ways we can have conversations about less family-friendly movies in a family-friendly way.
Yeah, I agree. But the big thing with our show is we know that there are people under the age of 18 who pledge money to our show, who are avid listeners, and I would never, ever, ever want a parent to be listening to our show or reading over their shoulder on Discord and be like, "What is?"
We just recently. So this is an example of something that can go both ways on it. It's like we recently made the switch where we stopped bleeping episodes and started inserting the word Fortnite
over our swear words
in place of a bleep. And we like within 4 hours of each other, we got two different responses. One that was like, "Can you guys stop doing the Fortnite thing? It's cringy. It's annoying. Just cut it out." And we got another response that was like, "Hey, thank you guys so much for doing the Fortnite thing. It makes my parents a lot happier when they don't hear bleeps."
And that was good enough for me. So
and I was just like,
Fortnite joke.
Yep. So in that situation, that person wins.
Because
I just wish you would pick a different word.
Well, we're going to try to do Apex Legends now because that's the big thing.
That can go of the A word.
I honestly didn't like the first episode you did it in. It took me half the episode to realize you weren't just saying Fortnite.
Yeah, really, we just need to get a backlog. You and I need to sit down and record like
Fortnite.
Make it easier. And like the occasional like PUBG.
Apex Legends.
You're such an Apex Legends man.
Oh, that would be great.
Oh gosh.
I have no frame of reference for what any of that means.
They're battle royale style video games.
Yeah. Viral.
I don't play video games at all.
They're like the TikTok of video games.
No, they're
100
bigger than that. Do you remember Halo?
No.
Yeah,
We're not going to equate Fortnite and Halo right now.
Oh, Halo was the best game.
I played Halo in high school.
No, because gamers played Halo.
Dude.
Everybody plays Fortnite.
Your generation played Halo. We in my generation we played Call of Duty. We played Black Ops.
Your generation ruined it. Is the thing. Like as soon as Call of Duty happened, as soon as Call of Duty happened, we were miserable.
Call of
We were
Duty-
Halo players.
Like at one point, Call of Duty was like actually historically accurate.
Yeah. Some of those games were rad, and then Call of Duty Modern Warfare happened, and it became this online free-for-all cluster heck. And
Because my
I'm just
dad used to
amateur
play-
pro in your sleight of hand, boys. We're
My
going out
dad
to
used to
war.
play Medal of Honor and Call of Duty because they were historically accurate, and you could play like in World War II or World War I or what. Like my dad used to love those games, and then
also, Scotty, everyone's generation played Mario Kart. I didn't even own a Nintendo console until the Switch, and I played Mario Kart.
We played Mario.
I didn't even play video games, and I played Mario.
Everybody played Mario. That is a generational melting pot.
It's all about Halo.
My generation played RuneScape. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
I've
I
got
don't know
buddies
that game.
that are going to like engineering school who make like coding, like they make like things to grind RuneScape still. Like I've got a bunch of buddies who still play RuneScape.
Dude, because RuneScape was it, man. Like we never needed to go past that. Right. That was the greatest RPG ever.
For my friends' birthdays, I would give them a black dagger.
I did play World of Warcraft for about 12 of God's calendar months.
I was expecting hours or like days, and then you're like calendar months.
Played it for about 12 months. And I kid you not, it was probably it was too many hours a day. Like I just didn't sleep. This was like 9th grade. I just didn't sleep. There was no sleep happening. I was up all night playing WoW, get up, go to school, come home, do my homework real quick when I did it, and then play more WoW. And like to this day, I still have a World of Warcraft addiction. It's not something you get over.
No.
Some days people are like, "Hey, you want to play World of Warcraft?" I'm like, "Yep, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's play World of Warcraft. Let's do it right now. I'll be whatever you want, whatever question. I can be Paladin."
I lost friends to that game. Like, I hate
all night. You want to run Dead Mines? Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
I am Alliance till the day I die.
But that's the thing is like I got out of World of Warcraft right when they ruined World of Warcraft and started putting in like Mist of Pandaria.
Yeah, we got out during Cataclysm.
We got out before Lich King.
I played World of Warcraft for 1 month because they give you the trial, and I played every minute of that month.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they like cut you off at level 25 or something. Like you can't go past this during the trial. And boy, oh boy, did I hit it.
It was a problem.
I'm addicted. Like I also Diablo 2 was a big one for me.
Never played Diablo.
Don't ever pick it up.
I don't want to. This is why I love Smash, okay? Because I'm bad at Smash, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can play Super Smash Brothers for like 30 minutes by myself, and I'm bored and upset. But I also like I'm not gonna sit there all night. I'm not gonna play it all night by myself. Now, if I've got other people in the game that are people I know that I'm in like a voice chat with that are kicking my butt at it, it's different. Like, but once I'm getting wrecked by Villager on like classic mode, I'm just, you know what? I'm gonna click those controllers back in and go to bed.
You beat me sometimes.
If you would like to play Smash with Tyler and Ethan, we play probably bi-weekly.
I would like to play more Smash.
Yes, please.
I would like to play more Smash.
I would love to get in a room with you guys.
I don't have.
I feel like I have to buy a Switch now.
You do. If you don't mess with your pledges to do that. But
you know what, Julia? We're gonna send you a monogrammed signed Switch.
we only have your gifts picked out, and you're not there yet. But you'll get one soon.
I love gifts. I mean, I technically pay for them, but I love gifts.
Tyler, I'm friends with you on Switch. I will always be down for some Smash, dude. I'm always down for Smash.
Yeah, we do like
game night
team retreats here at Bacon and Eggs, where like us and the mod squad gets together and plays Smash.
We also do Smash
until the wee hours of the morning sometimes.
But we will also play Smash with just anybody.
Yep.
Or I just watch you guys play Smash, or just listen and talk because
That was the thing that happened where me and Inez and Rachel were playing, and we're like, "Hey, Pixels, do you want to join?" She's like, "I'm in my sleep mask."
I really had my sleep mask on. I was like, I'll talk to you guys when I'm done playing.
He's got the headphones on with the sleep mask. It's like, this is bliss.
This is ASMR.
Hey, sleep masks are like the best thing ever.
Winner is.
I got a like Luna Lovegood. It's like her glasses on the sleep mask. I just got it in the crate box. Yeah.
Let me tell you how frustrated I was with that stupid Loot Crate box that I canceled it. They still charged me $130. Wouldn't give me my money back.
That's how much Loot Crate costs?
No, that is not how much Loot Crate costs.
Ooh. Like, Jesus Christ, on a hamburger, that's a lot of money.
Well, it was like, so I paid for like 6 months.
Pop sent to me once a month for the exact price of a pop.
I mean, we can set that up. We can set that up. I mean, we've talked about as a Patreon thing doing
signed pops.
Yeah, not even signed pops, just doing Bacon and Eggs Pop Club, where like
every month
you pay us $9.99 on Patreon, and we will send you a $9.99 Funko Pop that we think you would enjoy, like a curated pop service,
or that was just related to one of the films we discussed that week.
I like this idea.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen because it's a lot of logistics for zero payoff.
I mean,
I almost
charge
paid
more.
for at Disney this weekend.
You should pay more than the cost of the pop.
But that's the thing.
You, Pixels.
It's not even about like a money grab thing. It's just I think that would be a valuable service to our friends at on the Patreons.
Yeah, we do a lot of things that don't necessarily net dollars,
but they will. Is the thing.
Will.
I have your cards that you sent me in my office at work on the wall.
That's the goal.
Because it brings me joy. When I want to throw my computer across the room, I look at Ben and Tyler. No.
Ethan and Tyler.
I'll take that compliment.
Happy holidays.
Ben's the hot.
Ben is the hot. When I was in high school, the girls would be like, "Is Ben your older brother?" And I'd be like, "Yeah," and they would be like, "He's so hot." I'd be like,
oh,
that's brutal. The wild thing about Ben is Ben cannot handle people talking about him being attractive.
Yes, he can. He posts all those pictures with his shirt off and stuff.
He legitimately, like, the other day, it was just me and Ben and Gabriel at the gym. And Gabriel and I spent a solid 15 minutes talking about Ben's butt. Not including him in the conversation. And he was like, by the end of it, he was just straight red. Like,
oh, man, I could see that, though.
Well, that is a great note to end our hangout.
Thank you all for coming out.
Ethan and I must leave. The YouTube chat will leave, but the 3-4 of you are welcome to continue to hang out with each other. Until next time, Arnie Neatcamp.
You must change, and I must get my hat. Also, Isaac, we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, Isaac.
All right. Yeah,
sweet.
absolutely.
Bye.
Touch for scheduling.
Bye, Tyler. Bye, Ethan.
Bye.